I'm a single mom of three beautiful children. I just got separated like 4 years ago. I'm a single mom. I work for my kids. I do acting, and at the same time, I'm also a professional makeup artist. What makes me happy is when all my children are also happy, when I see that they all get along well, because sometimes, of course, it's natural for them to have disagreements and everything. So when I see them like hugging each other and kissing each other, that's what makes me happy. Oh, I hate liars. Like in people, I hate liars. And I hate people who pretend to be who they are not, because I accept person who they are, because I have different kinds of friends with me. They are serious, and then iba-iba. So I just want people who are real, because I married at an early age, right? So when I got married, I didn't have my own place. I didn't have, well, I had my own car, but I sold it. But it's just different when you know that you have something on your own. I think it was one of the reasons why I stood by my ex-husband, because I didn't know where to go, even if our relationship wasn't going well already, because I didn't have a place to stay, or I didn't have my own money, you know, especially at this point in my life. I believe that especially the women now, you should always have your own job, career. It's important, because I believe you could always balance career with family. Perfect life? Perfect life. Okay. Perfect life for me is having like a happy family, having like a complete family where you have like every weekend you spend your time with your children and with your husband. Sunday you go to church, eat out, and then Monday to Friday you work. It's just balance. That's a happy life for me. Yeah, I'm not really a materialistic person. You know, I have never dreamed of having like a very lavish house or a lavish car. My only dream, even since I was a kid, was to have a close and happy family, because that's what I didn't have when I was young. So sometimes it's like that. The things that you didn't have when you were younger, that's what you wanted to have when you grow up, right? And that's what you wish for. As a mom, I work for my children. I mean, they are my priority in life. As I always tell them, my priority is to let them finish school and see them work and have their own family. That's what I always tell my children. You know, you'd appreciate what I do for you when you have your own children already. Because now they don't understand you, right? That's how I am before with my parents. So with mothers, of course, we talk about our children, you know, comparing notes and everything, you know, comparing like, oh, she's like this, like that, oh, my daughter is like this, like that. From my set of friends, I am known to be a very strict mom. Like, I'm their number one on the list. So they always ask me, how do I do it in such a way that my children do not rebel from me? So they always ask me, how do I do it? I always tell my friends who are moms as well on how I talk to my children, or on how I tell them that sometimes I use the conscious thing of saying, oh, I've experienced so much in my past because of your dad, so I hope you know, it's my time to have a happy life now, and don't give me headaches because I've had too much. You don't want to have a crazy mother. I think the hardest career that you could have, I call it a career, is being a mom. Especially when you have like maraming children. Like if you have one, you just need to know the attitude and the likes and dislikes. But it's different when you have 3 or more, because you deal with different personalities. Each of them have different personalities. So as a mom, I always try to understand them in such a way that I have to understand their personality. Like, my eldest is a very sweet person. She needs so much attention. Na if she says she wants a hug, a kiss, she's what do you call this? Malambing. Her love language is physical touch. So you need to give that to her. With my second child, it's different. You cannot touch her. You cannot. If you hug her, she doesn't like. It's words of affirmation. So you have to continually say na, oh, it's the Ayla, you know, you can do it, like that, but you can't hold her. My youngest, is a very strong personality. She's like a boy. I'm really having a hard time with her because she's like a boy and she's very, how do you say that? She thinks she can do everything on her own. Even if I try to help her sometimes with her school and everything, she doesn't want help. And very, very different personality. And that's the challenge that you have when you're a parent or when you're a mom. Because of this different set of personalities. It's different, right? When you have to there's like a switch. When I talk to my eldest, okay, I'm like this. When I talk to my second, I'm like this. When I talk to my second, I can't shout. Because when my eyes start popping out and I'm about to shout at her, she's crying already. So it's really different. It's hard being a mom. I know while I was working 24 hours a day in La Presa, there was this sense of eagerness to see them. Like after a hard day's work, you know, you'd see your children. So that was very memorable for me. Especially with my eldest, she loves to reason out. So at the end of the day, I'd also, you know, think of the things that she's saying, and then I'd say, that's the good thing about being a mom. Not only that you only listen to yourself, you also have to listen to your children. Because sometimes they also have, you know, good inputs in life, like the young inputs. So I supported her, and then I told her, you know, Isa, I think pinakamalakas kong iiyak is on your graduation, because that's my dream for them to finish college. It's a dream that I didn't have that feeling like Isa that she really wanted to finish college, but it's like when she finishes college, or my 3 children, it's like I also, you know, it's a fulfillment for me, especially that I'm a single mom. I drive my children every day. Even if I had a driver, I would go with the driver and bring my children every day and pick them up from school every day. I wouldn't cook for them every day, but I would cook. Or I would tell my cook, okay, you cook this, like that, even with their clothes and everything. I was a very hands-on mom. There was a point in my life that I already wanted to, you know, to separate from their dad. But they were still young. I stayed, even if it was like hell staying in that relationship. I stayed because of them. But when they grew up already, and then I knew in my heart that it wasn't healthy for them anymore. That was the time that I decided. So I just want them to remember me for always standing up for them in whatever circumstances, whether in finances, emotional, or mental. I will always be here to stand up for them. Simple as whenever we cross the street, I would always go towards where the cars are going, because I believe that I should always be there to protect them. I am here, they are all here. Whatever happens, if the car hits me, it would hit me, not them. Because I would always, I would die for them.
So, how do you teach your children what's good and bad?
One thing that was good, because they grew up in a Christian community and they studied in a Christian school. I didn't really have like a hard time in raising them and teaching them from right and wrong, because as early as 5 years old, they already read the Bible, they already know the goodness of God. So it wasn't really hard for me to 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 lead them to what is right and stay away from what is wrong, because it was like a natural thing for them, because it was like it's I believe that it's very important when children are growing. It's for the environment, a good environment for them.
So specifically, let's say they do something wrong, like
Mm.
how do you punish them? Like how do you show them
When
that-
they were young, I used to have like a spanking rod. I used that spanking rod on them. And then after that, I talk to them that this is wrong, like this, like that. And then I discipline them. I take away things that are very important to them. Like there are times I take out like cell phones for 2 months, 3 months, depending on the degree. Whatever they like, I take away. If my other child loves to watch TV, okay, she cannot watch TV. If my other child loves to use the laptop or any gadget, I take that away from her.
Can you elaborate more on why you choose that as punishment, like taking away the things that you know are important to them?
Because as you said, it's important to them. So taking away something that's important to you, it's like it's an everyday suffering that they need to endure. Unlike just spanking them or just scolding them or shouting at them. It's like when you suffer, you learn from that suffering life. So that is my point.
So you want them to experience it
Yes,
themselves.
yes. Experience the suffering. Then, when you suffer, that's the time that you learn things, and then, probably teach my children not to do it anymore, or else they won't have back their cell phones or whatever. It's like depriving of what they want. When you are disciplined at an early age, as you grow old, nadadala mo yun. Even in school, when you're disciplined with work, with your studies, with your projects or whatever you need to do, you're disciplined. Then by the time that you work, it's a disciplining my children is for them to realize that in life you need to have discipline to be successful. Whenever I accept roles, my children doesn't know about this. Whenever I accept roles, first that I think about is, how will my children react on this? Like there was a time that I had a role that required for me to have a kissing scene, and it was the first time ever that I'll be doing it. But then I told them that it's a good project, it's a drama project. So I talked to them. So it's like being a mom is putting your children on top of your priorities.